Let's do it. Check, check. We're a little bit big in frame, huh? I probably should have made that a little smaller. Oh well. Let's see how sound works. Let's see. I probably should have angled it a little better so my head wasn't cut off the top. But yeah, still waiting to be live here. Oh, yours picked up. Do we have sound? It's looking like we have sound. Let's see how sound works. Yeah, all right.
All right, that's sound.
Yours is working and I don't have shit on my phone yet. Awesome.
Really?
I'm still.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, let's back out and try that again. Oh, yeah, look at that. Now we're on there. What do you know? Amazing.
Thanks, Facebook.
Technology. Woo! All right. Welcome, Boo Believers.
Hi, guys.
It's Deadsville Horror Talk, a special edition with me and Maddy Morningstar sitting in tonight. And we're going to talk about the new horror slasher In a Violent Nature that we went and saw Thursday.
Was it Thursday?
It was Thursday. It was the night before it came out. We got to check it out a little early. There was some other people in the theater with us.
I think there were like maybe 5 other people. That was it.
Something. There was a couple in front of us and maybe 1 or 2 behind us. Yeah, very small.
Yeah, not a whole lot of people there.
Small
I feel like
turnout.
people didn't even know about it, really.
That's what I kind of feel like too. But let me see, which way should I? Okay, I should get this way a little more so we can even our frame. Yes, and you can come in a little bit closer. No, I'm still like cut off at the top.
At the top.
Yeah, we're all right. We'll make it work. I'll just be. I'll shrink down. I'll scrunch. See if I sit up. Yeah, I got to adjust it. Bear with us for a second. Hey, Dan Dye checking in. What's up, Dan?
Hi, Dan.
Bear with us for a sec because I just got to adjust the tilt on the camera here. Go ahead, Matt. Stay in the frame there so they see your lovely face while I'm out here adjusting the tilt to give us a little more headroom. There we go. That's usually where I set it, right above the eye in the I, Jason, New York poster.
It's your point of reference?
It's my point of reference. The top of the eye.
Oh, yeah.
Is usually where my top of frame needs to be. All right. Yeah, that's better. I feel like I'm much better centered in frame a little bit more now. Still a little tall, but it works. I'll back up a little bit. That'll make me shorter in frame.
I feel like I'm really close to you.
Boom. There we go. No, you can be close. Woo, come close, baby, especially because you got them legs. You got your shorty shorts on over here.
No one can see them.
I know. We don't have B-cam set up anymore, so you can't see Lady Legacy back here and the lovely legs. And she is, it's warm. I should be wearing my shorts as well. All right, let's bring up I know. Let's bring our Chad up here. Crenshaw checking in on YouTube. What's up,
Hi,
Derek?
Fred.
How you doing, brother? Thanks
I miss
for checking in. Yeah, let's see. Dan, I alone watch you. I alone watch you. Oh, sorry, Dan. There's others joining you. We have Derek on YouTube checking in. See, not everybody's on Facebook, and we are live on YouTube and Kick and Twitch and Facebook.
We've got everything.
We got all the bases covered, apparently.
We are very prepared.
I don't know who's watching us on Kick and Twitch. Apparently, every once in a while, we'll get somebody pop in and watch us.
Yeah, it's like a random person, too.
But yes, just some rando will be like, hey, what is this crap? And they'll find us somehow. But yes, we're going to do a little review of, we're going to do a big review. First, we'll do a little spoiler-free review of In a Violent Nature, the new Jason movie we deserve, as people have labeled it. It's won a bunch of awards. Everybody was talking about it in festivals. We talked about it. I talked about it a bunch here on my live
You talked
streams.
about it a couple times.
And we watched the trailer, and we were very intrigued. Does it live up to the hype? We'll let you know soon. Coming up. That's our tease. Before we get to that, though, I am Deadsville director Ronin James, director of Deadsville Rock and Roll Mysteries and a bunch of Dickie Devil and the Deviants videos, and I'm a longtime stunt coordinator and stunt performer, and you've seen me die in a bunch of stuff, or get my ass kicked, or shot, or blown up, or crash a car, or hit by a train in one, and yeah, you've seen me, I guarantee it.
You died quite a bit.
I've died a lot. I've
You've
lived many
died
lives. One time I got eaten by a blob on a planet far, far away. Yes.
You're going to have to show me that one.
No, you've seen it. It's the Guardians of the Galaxy with you running down the hill as
and you're
a blue
you're
alien.
like a monk.
Yes.
You're like an alien
a
monk.
Kree stunt monk. And I get eaten by the blob at the end of Guardians Volume 2. It's my big Marvel, one of my big Marvel appearances. I've had others. I have had other Marvel appearances. We'll talk about that later. But yes, that's what I've done. I've been a stuntman. Now I'm directing, and I'm the director of the upcoming Amityville Barbie, the movie, which we will talk about very soon. To my left, the gorgeous Maddy Morningstar. She is puppeteer of our Doggy Deviant, which was how we kind of started.
That's how we started out.
Whole thing. And she also makes props, and
I do.
Currently working on our Necronomicon prop, 2 of them to be exact.
Oh yeah.
So how's that going? I know we have one in the other room. We've showed it live before. We'll take at some point you can grab it and bring it in.
Yeah, at some point we'll let you guys see it. But we're making 2, and just so you guys know, we're not making any more of these. So we do have a perk to actually get one of them. So check out our Indiegogo, and you'll be able to own one of the screen-used Necronomicon packs. And we're not making any more of them. There's 2 and only 2.
That's
so
it.
you have a chance to get one of them.
Yep, she's going to keep the other one.
Yeah, you can't have it. Sorry.
So that's it. Just one Necronomicon pack. So we'll show you later. It's obviously fashioned after the Necronomicon. Amityville Barbie is a big love letter to Sam Raimi and Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Jackie Chan, all of Jackie Chan's stuff. So if you took all them and combined it into one and put a Barbie and an Amityville label on it, that's what you're going to get.
It's going to be insane, and I am so excited. I am so excited.
And the Necronomicon Pact is a big part of the fun. So yes, it's a big prop. So we're happy to have Maddy doing that. She's also acted in some skits and sketches and music videos, and you've seen her doing shorts with me as a cop with a really sweet mustache.
It was a really sweet mustache.
It was quite a mustache.
It was.
So check that one out if you haven't seen it. Hollywood movie cops. It's just like the first one. We need to get some more of those.
There were more ideas for those.
There's a ton.
Yeah.
We've just been so consumed with crowdfunding and Amityville Barbie at this point that we haven't been able to get back to doing that stuff. But we will. We promise. There'll
Absolutely.
be more cliche cops, and we still have Black Metal Date Night on the horizon.
Oh yeah, we have big plans for that one. I think we have like a couple episodes written for that already.
Yes, lots of content coming your way.
Yes.
But we wanted to do a feature, so we're Amityville Barbie is underway. Crowdfunding is underway. You can head over to our Indiegogo page if you search Amityville Barbie the movie. No E on Barbie, just because we're being courteous to Mattel, not because we fear them, but more because we're being respectful. Right. We're spoofing her, which is totally legally allowed to parody it. We could use the E if we wanted to. We're just taking the E off out of respect.
Yes,
and because it's our own character.
Yes,
this is our own. Yes,
it's not Barbie. It's a different Barbie.
Yes. So let's bring the chat window up over here so they can see us. There we go. Oh look, now if I see if you come over this way a little more, now we fit nicely in the window. Come on, bring them legs over. Woo, Lady Legacy. Woo. You'll get the joke if you watch Teen Titans Go,
which is an awesome show, by the way.
Whole episode that Raven had legs that nobody knew about.
No one knew because she always had a robe on.
Well, we had no idea that Maddy had legs either until this year when she wore short shorts. Now we know Maddy has.
The secret is out.
All right. Enough about Maddy's legs. We should talk about In a Violent Nature. Now, like I said, we went and saw this last Thursday. A few people in the theater. You know what? Let's we could bring up our tab to unmute. I'm going to bring the trailer up on here. So you guys, if you haven't seen it yet, we're going to jump to the IMDb page. I'm going to get my screen share up. and you guys can watch the trailer before we get into talking about it. If you haven't seen it yet, our volume's up. Nice.
I'm not going to ask you again. You stay out of that park. But one of these days, you're going to find something that's going to walk right through your traps. Trust me, you don't want to find that animal. You guys never heard of the White Pine Slaughter? The what? The White Pine Slaughter.
Just tell us the story.
You guys really want to hear it?
Yeah.
Come on. All right, buckle up. Something's not right, man. Get it through your head. You don't know what you just did. It's the only thing holding his soul at rest. Give it back. You can't. She's awake now. What are you waiting for? We're right here.
All right. Oh, there it is. There's the body. All right, there you have it. The trailer for, I pause that shit. In a Violent Nature. Checking in Bob Garrison and TJ Thresh. Dan asked, where can we see it? It's in theaters right now, Dan. We just went and saw it in the theater. So it's in the theaters right now. And I'm not sure where it's going to go. I think it was a Shudder. Shudder's going to have it.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah. It is
that
going to be
Shudder
on
was
Shudder.
in there when they had the opening credits. There was a Shudder.
They didn't tell us when it was going to be on Shudder.
No, it just said it's a Shudder production.
Yeah, that's all we know, though.
There we go. Yeah, it's going to be on Shudder at some point. We don't know when, but yes, it will be on Shudder. So the writer and director is Chris Nash, and let's see if he's done. I didn't see if he had anything else before this. Before we get into too much talking about it, ABCs of Death 2 in 2014.
I heard good things about that movie.
Oh, he worked on The Void in 2016. Interesting. Life Changer in 2018. So The Void transformed Sarah. Okay, so I guess he did makeup.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he was one of the makeup artists on The Void. So The Void is, he was on set creature effects supervisor on Psycho
That's
Gorman.
what I was just going to say.
Well, The Void was, that makes sense because The Void was one of the movies that were done by the creator, Psycho Gorman. It was one of his, that was his movie before Psycho Gorman.
Oh, really?
That was, what's his name now? I'm going to draw a blank. Anthony Noble checking in. Justin Clark checking in. What's up, guys?
Hi, guys.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of special effects credits. That's what he's really known for. But he's directed a few things too. Previous direction, he's done. He did a video for The Birthday Massacre. He directed a segment, Z is for Zygote, for ABCs of Death. Did a short called Lip Lock and The Main Squeeze, and a few other shorts. So that was all he had previously done. But yes, he's one of the guys that worked on Psycho Gorman and The Void. He worked on The Void, which was also Stephen Kostansky. That's who the writer-director of Psycho Gorman was. So that's where our... interesting. Very cool. So yeah, I mean, it's I'm guessing they filmed in Canada then, because that's a Canadian company. So I'm gonna guess that this thing was shot in Canada. It's probably here on the page, on the IMDb page. Yes. Filming began in central Ontario, Canada, near the Kawartha Lakes area before moving to Algoma District in Ontario in 2021. It released 3 years later in January of 2024. Man, that's some real lengthy post-production.
Yeah,
I don't
wow,
feel
oh
as
my
bad about
gosh.
Deadsville Rock and Roll Mysteries now. because mine's only been a year in post-production, even though it's only half an hour.
That's nothing compared to this.
This is 3 years in post. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Anthony, our Canadian correspondent, says all the best shit comes from Canada. Justin says, what's up, gangsters? What's up, Justin? He said he still needs to see this one. Justin, one of our stunt performers. Hopefully we get Justin in on Amityville Barbie.
Oh, he would be wonderful for
You'll
that.
be one of our stunt demons, Justin.
Yeah, we definitely got to get Justin.
All right, so let's see. Okay, so that's our director, Chris Nash. What should we say about before we get into our cast? There's not a whole lot of cast to really get into. Like this thing
Not
doesn't
really.
even.
There's not a lot of people involved.
I mean, there's characters, but you see them so little. Nobody's
really notable.
Right.
There's one character that's notable.
Yeah, because he kind of gives you some of the backstory.
He gives you backstory.
Right. The ranger.
Yeah. Everyone else is just.
I mean, this is. I'll tell you what. This is a brilliant example of doing a lot with a little. They have great special effects, but this is like the flimsiest plot that you're ever going to come across. It is just literally just taken straight from Friday the 13th. I mean, this is Jason.
Yes, and
Let's
like
get
in a
to
very
it.
like
Let's just
literal
get to
sense, it's Jason.
Yeah, and they call him what? Johnny? Yeah. So
Yeah,
here's the story.
Johnny.
Here's the storyline. When a locket is removed from a collapsed fire tower in the woods that entombs the rotting corpse of Johnny, a vengeful spirit spurned on by a horrific 60-year-old crime, his body is resurrected and becomes hellbent on retrieving it. And yes, that's it.
Essentially, that's
Taglines:
movie.
Nature is unforgiving. And then we have some trivia. There's a soundtrack I didn't even realize that there was, a soundtrack, Black Flies, written by Wade Hemsworth, performed by Tracy Newman. Maybe it was in the credits because I don't remember any music in this.
There's no music in this movie.
There's no music in it whatsoever. That's going to be one of my...
We'll get...
We'll get to
go
it.
into depth about that.
Yeah, we're going to get into it. All right. Just right off the bat, go ahead, Maddy. Why don't you give your quick first impression, spoiler free? Go ahead. Ladies first.
All right. Well, I have mixed feelings about the entire movie as a whole, but something I can appreciate about it is that it is in a literal sense like Jason. It's a Friday the 13th movie from Jason's perspective in a very, very literal sense, which is something to appreciate, especially with like how primitive Jason can be. It really is just a very literal movie. But it was very slow, and there was a lot of walking. Which kind of ties in with what I'm saying. Like, there are good and bad things about seeing Jason's perspective, but man does a lot of walking.
Yes. There was, we were sitting there, and they would he would get somewhere, and something would happen. And then it would go, and I would literally lean over and be like, and we're walking.
And we're walking.
And we're walking.
That took up the majority of the movie.
And we're walking. And there was a lot. You saw it in the trailer there. There's a lot of walking.
For sure.
That's like the biggest.
Realistic.
It is.
It's realistic.
And so here's, Go ahead. You finish, though. Go ahead. I want you to finish.
Well, I also thought the special effects were fantastic, which makes a lot of sense considering our director is a special effects guy. Yeah. That makes a ton of sense. But if you like some nasty, gnarly gore, you're going to enjoy the kills for sure.
The kills are very creative. I really enjoyed the kills.
Very creative. They were very impressive.
And they do stuff where they really stay on. They never really, I don't think they ever shy away from showing a kill. I don't think there's any off-camera kills.
There weren't any.
And there's no, it's really hard to even see, at certain times when they, if they even have a cut to put a dummy in at all. It's just, they stay on some of these shots for so long, and it never shies away from the gore, which is, again, if Terrifier 2 should have proved anything, it's people still want to see practical gore and effects. They will pay to see
Practical
it. It will
is
bring
the way
people
to go.
in. So there's really good gore. And again, because this guy's a special effects artist, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, there were points where you can't tell when they switch out a fake prop. Compare it goes from the real person to the prop. You can't. It's seamless. It's completely seamless. You can't tell when they switch it out.
A really great job. the other thing, well, yeah. Go ahead and finish. Do you recommend? What do you?
If you're a Friday the 13th fan, I would recommend it, but expect it to be literally. It's from Jason's perspective, so expect it to be very literal and straight to the point. Just be ready for it.
Well, the slowness, I think, is what I also I'll recommend it because I think they do a lot of really good stuff in this movie, and I just think that they could have. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of walking, and
It took up a lot of the movie.
and even with the kills being awesome and as great as the kills were, I still left the theater feeling like there was potential that they missed. Like there was it could have been better. And I'll get into a little more as to why as I go into mine. Let me check in real quick in the chat. Hi, Brittany.
Hi,
Brittany
Brittany.
Fox checking in. Where are we here? Justin said he is in for the Amityville Barbie.
All right.
Hustle Friends with Ryan Reynolds takes place in New Jersey. The whole thing's filmed in the Old Town Moose Show. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in that's filmed all over. We used to have. It's how I got into stunts was just replying to some of the chats here. Anthony talking about stuff that's filmed in Canada. It's supposed to take place in the United States. We used to shoot stuff for New York and Philly all the time. That's how a bunch of us, Justin included, we managed to hustle our way onto some sets because Pennsylvania had a big tax credit and they would dress Philly up to look like New York. And when you're down close in the streets, you can't tell the difference. So, and it was a lot cheaper to film here in Philly than it was to New York. So there's a lot of that where they film everything in Georgia right now and they'll put you on a soundstage and it'll be Egypt with a giant green screen behind you. So there's nothing. Dan says, I'm going to make a film. It's simply Jason with a step counter watch. Yeah. I wonder, somebody should have put his steps on that actor and seen what he did for Johnny
Jason
there.
walking around with one of those Fitbits, that counts as steps.
Yeah, count his steps. So, all right, I'm going to get into mine now, why my thoughts. I really loved the kills. They were awesome. But yeah, the walking stuff, the other part that combines the walking part and makes the walking so monotonous is that there is no music. There's no music. There's no, the old fucking, there's none of that.
He doesn't have
even a good portion of the movie takes place in daylight hours, so it's not very scary, any of the trudging. You're just like, okay, he's just trudging through the woods in the middle of the day.
A lot of it
and
was
it's just the back of his head, and he's just crunch, and you're literally just hearing the sounds of crickets and him crunching, his boots crunching. And they'll do some jump cuts here and there, but there's just so much of it. It's like Lord of the Rings, like he's fucking walking the ring for 3 movies. I'm like, holy shit, we're walking again. It's a lot of fucking walking. Johnny's boots were definitely made for walking, Dan.
Absolutely, yes, they
Good
were.
call. And I felt like that was a part that really missed the mark for me, because I understand what the director's going for here. I really get what he's going for. And what he's going for, he nails. He's going for realism. He's going for real. If this really happened. So when Johnny's walking through the woods, he's making it like he's really walking through the woods. No music, no creepy sound effects, no fog machines, no smoke, no nothing. It's just going to be him walking through the woods to get his revenge, like if this was really happening. And that's great. The problem is it gets kind of fucking boring. I mean, that's the problem. Just watching him walk in between the kills gets really fucking boring. I mean, the kills luckily are in there. But even when the kills happen, there's not music or anything else.
No,
it's just him just walking right up onto people and just ripping, and you can hear there's good sound design when the kills happen, and that's what that was cool too, because you still everything the movie picks up. We'll get into that later, but with spoilers. But you never see anything from any other perspective but Johnny's.
No.
So
at the end.
At the one part at the end, which was, I was like, okay, why are we breaking the rule now at the end of the movie?
And it was a long end of the movie.
Yeah.
It was really drawn out.
Yep, very true. Very
realistic, but.
Yeah, let's not get to the end. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll make our comment. Yeah, I was not a fan of how the movie ended.
Me neither. I was very disappointed. I wasn't happy with that at all.
So I forgot what else. What other part I was on? About the lack of music. Like even if there's no like spooky ambiance. Like if this were like you could do this with and not have to do the realism thing and have Jason walking through the movie or Johnny walking through. But if he's walking through at night and there's like smoke and you have some ominous music and you never know when he's going to come across somebody or somebody's. But that was cool. That was one of the cool things about it. You would hear the voices start to get closer as he was coming up upon camps or coming up upon the campers or the people or finding out where they were. He would just approach it like an unstoppable machine. He was just like keep walking, and that was a cool aspect of it. But again, like it would have benefited from some music. That was one of the things.
I think so too.
And then
they put music in movies for a reason to add to the effect and add to the scary part of it. But that's obviously not what he was going for.
No, not at all. And like I said, like I get that they wanted the realistic thing. I get that that's what they were going for here, but it succeeded at what it was doing, and it was really good. But I just feel like it could have been better if they would allowed some movie magic in there. I feel like, and then the other side of the coin to that is it also saves them a ton on production. So this thing. I should jump over because I don't want to say before I actually look, but I want to see what the budget of it was because it could not have been much. The budget of this thing could not have been much.
The special effects probably cost the most.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably what it was. Here it is. Oh, no, they got box office. It made $2 million worldwide in the box office, but I'm not seeing anything about... I'll put the share screen up for you guys. Hang on. So you guys can see what I'm talking about here. But I mean, if they would have added music or sound effects and all that stuff, that's sound design. That's a whole nother huge chunk of budget that they saved on. So maybe they were like, it played two parts. Hey, it'd be realistic, but you know what? We also don't have to pay for any sound design other than just some dialogue and some fucking boom micing, and that's it. We can get all our shit there. We don't need no music, no nothing. Just a fucking soundtrack. Like their soundtracks, like music at the end. They probably saved a ton, so it kind of seems like it could have been a fucking cop-out, you know?
It could have been.
Like, oh, yeah, we don't have to put no music in because it's cheap.
It didn't feel like a low-budget movie either.
No, like the effects made it feel, and the way it was shot, the cinematography.
Oh, yeah, the camera angles.
The shots were great.
The shots were very, very nice.
They had long shots, drawn-out shots, really pretty cinematic shots, and the woods looked great, and all that stuff looked great. It was all very beautifully shot, but yeah,
a really pretty area too. Like there's so much nature. It was very naturous.
Naturous.
It was quite naturous.
Kawartha Lakes, Ontario. Yes, so that's where it was shot.
Yeah, beautiful area for sure.
Low Sky Productions, Shudder, and Zygote Pictures. It doesn't say anything about the budget. So, all right, we can take a look at a couple things here. We'll jump over to Rotten Tomatoes. If you guys have seen it, comment. Let us know what you thought. If you've watched it already.
Yeah, definitely let us know.
If you're planning on watching it, let us know. And we're going to go to spoilers soon. We're going to do some Amityville Barbie talk, though. Get ready for that as well. Deja Gardner joining in, and Michael McDonald. Hello.
Hi, guys.
Thanks for joining us. So right now, this is funny. The critics have it at an 86% fresh.
Really?
Because critics love those artsy shots.
It is very artsy.
And critics are going to look at that, and I knew this was going to happen. I knew that this was going to happen. All the critics are going to be like, "Oh, it's so," because it's an art house movie with excessive gore. That's really what it is. Because it's so bold and adventurous. They're trying to do something different, and
which is something to appreciate.
It is,
absolutely,
but I really can't. I wanted to gush over this movie, but it's just holding me back. I can't, man. I can't.
Either.
And for the fact that the critics are gushing over it with an 86%, and I'm going to read. We'll get into some of the critic reviews. The audience score is a 44%. So people obviously were bored.
Uh-huh.
I guarantee you we are going to see people that had the same
I'm sure so many people felt exactly the way that we did.
Commentary, yes, the same kind of commentary that we did. And we'll just jump to a couple of them here. Here we go. Well, here's a good from moviefreak.com. Sarah Michelle Feder says, I liked it, A Violent Nature, and I love watching it with an energetic audience in a crowded theater. Yeah, we didn't have a crowded theater.
Yeah, we didn't get that.
Here's this one. To paraphrase, this is the Austin Chronicle, Richard Whitaker. To paraphrase Paul Schrader on slow cinema, you can take forever as long as the payoff is worth the wait. That's where Nash diverges from the other slow filmmakers. Put simply, Kore-eda doesn't do this many decapitations. I don't know what to take of that. He gave it a 3.5.
I'm already seeing like audience reviews. They say this was quite possibly the most boring movie I've ever seen in theaters. That's how he started his review.
Yeah.
Mr. M.
Well, this one's from
His
Pop
name.
Matters, Nick Malone. I am here to tell you that no one vomited at this screening, but a few people did say, that's it? That's what I felt like as well.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I felt like as well. I was
Absolutely.
definitely underwhelmed. The kills were good. Don't
They
get
were
me
very
wrong.
good.
The
They
kills were very
super
good.
creative.
But the movie as a whole, I mean, I guess, and man, I don't want to shit on this dude as a director or a writer or anything like that, but I guess when you're a special effects artist and not actually a writer or a
If you're not
director,
writer, yeah.
this is how you make a movie. It's all about the kills. So you just follow your fucking made up monster walking through the woods with no sound design and no fucking special effects and no fucking ambiance or anything, and just make it real. And that's your cop out. That's your way to go about it. I hate shitting on this movie, but I have to a little bit, man, because
I get it too, because it takes away from it. But I do feel like the lack of music and sound effects, I feel like that was on purpose, because it was meant to be a realistic movie.
Right. And that's what makes it a crappy movie, because nobody wants a realistic movie.
Right.
This is why nobody wants realism in their theaters. Like literally, the only good thing about this movie is when the monster gets to the fucking campers and gets his hands on them and kills them. That's the best. That's the only time we get any story. We only get any acting. When he shows up and there's other and the campers are there, we start to hear the acting. We start to hear bits and pieces of a stereotypical cliche Friday the 13th camper story.
Oh yeah.
Like it's super fucking generic and cliche. But that's the only time that we get any of it.
Yeah, I feel like the characters are very generic, like painfully generic.
Oh,
Even
yeah,
in
yeah.
Friday the 13th, I feel like the characters were believable to an extent, but I feel like these are just super generic characters.
Yeah,
but like
and-
they were meant to die anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. But it
Right.
does kind of make it less believable.
It totally does, especially when you're trying to go for realism and following
Maybe
the guy
it's a
around with
little
no
too real.
music, and then you have a bunch of characters that are talking like a generic slasher movie. So like your realism of walking around and following your killer through everything kind of fizzles when you get to the campers and they have generic lines that we've all heard a million times before in
Yeah.
every fucking camp slasher movie ever. That's how thin this plot is. And now you're like calling this dude a writer, it's like he planned a bunch of kills, and in between the kills, he just follows his fucking killer through the woods. Like this isn't even really a movie. And these fucking critics, of course, are fooled because like, oh, it's so bold. Oh, so the shots are beautiful. This is art house. This is cinema. This is man, this is boring. This is boring. Aside from the kills, it was boring as fuck, man. I'm not kidding. Like the kills are worth seeing, but the rest of the movie was boring, and like piecing it together, I was like the story with the fireman stuff. Like he has, like as you see, he's got this helmet. It's like an old school fireman's helmet for like park rangers that fight forest fires, and he uses some of their tools. That kind of stuff was cool. That was in there. That like when we saw that kind of stuff, that added to the story. But again, like. What did you really write, dude? You just fucking shot on a old natural park in Canada where they had this fire museum, I'm sure, and you had your one scene in there, and that established your weapons for the movie now. And like, And then there was a part where they finally, when nobody thought we were going to see his face, right?
I wasn't ready to see his face. I didn't want to see his face, but
yeah. And they show it, and he has his Jason moment in there.
Yeah.
It's very Jason-esque.
He's literally Jason.
So like, yeah, like I don't know. I'm having trouble seeing what this dude actually wrote here. This thing is like a, it's like if for me, like as a stunt person, this would be like if we had like a stunt guy who was a martial arts fighter, right? And he wanted revenge on a bunch of guys who wronged him, and like he just set out. And we just showed it from his point of view, just walking until he shows up at the dojo and knocks at the door, and he's like, "Ha, fight!" And then they fight, and then we never really learn too much. We just get bits and pieces, and they fight, and that's it. We have some awesome fight scenes, and then we're walking again to the next dojo. Like that, would you? I mean, fuck, I don't even know if I would. And there's no music or nothing. Even during the fight scenes, it's just like nothing, right? Like that'd be boring as fuck. And that would be like a demo reel for a stunt coordinator. That's what this kind of felt like. It was like a demo reel for the special effects team. That's what this was. Because the story is so fucking flimsy and yes, generic. I'm going to say it again.
It is generic. And it does feel like the movie was built around all of the kills. It felt like they came up with the kills first and then wrote the movie around it.
Yep.
And the storyline that we do get from it is very flimsy, and we can ask a lot of questions about that.
Which is fine. I don't mind asking questions, but if you're going to make such a flimsy story, like you better do something else.
Yeah, and you only get a little bit of, like, you get bits and pieces of the storyline. Like you get the idea of it, but the backstory that we do get later on in the movie from another character, it makes you ask a lot of questions. I feel like it would have been better without all of that storyline. Even if you just took it out and like left him to be a complete mystery, that would have been better than trying to add like some flimsy story in there that might not make a whole lot of sense.
There was just no the POV of the killer aspect of it, and then trying to make it to ground it in reality. It just didn't work, and it doesn't lend itself to any kind of storytelling. That's why this guy can get away with calling himself a writer. The script must have been so short.
I know.
Insert kill scene.
It was probably like 5 pages.
Right? Like, the fuck is the script? There's like 5 lines of dialogue in like one part, and then a couple lines in another part, and a few lines here. Guy rides away on a fucking 4-wheeler. That was our fucking dialogue. That's what you wrote? That's like, I guarantee you, the script's like 10 pages. And then it's like, because this is what I do when I write a script. In parentheses, insert kill scene here. Like I'll put insert fight scene because we have to plan the fight scene. But like
that's where it goes.
But that's where that's all his script was though. Like mine will still have a story around it. The Barbies are going to bicker, and we're going to have all kinds of fun stuff and drama that comes with Barbie Land with Amityville Barbie. And then fight scene, gore, fight scene, drama, fight
but
scene,
it's
character.
Intertwined with your story.
There won't be any walking. I promise. I promise you, there will be no walking in Amityville Barbie. All right? Nobody's walking anywhere.
No walking.
All right? That's not happening. This isn't Lord of the fucking Rings. We're not. There's gonna be nobody's gonna look at the next person and we're walking when they're watching my movie in the theater. Fuck that. No. And we got action. They're going to be like, oh, shit. They're going to be grabbing onto the legs and being like, oh, my God, there's so much action. I can't take it. And blood and gore. Fuck.
It's going to be crazy.
They're going to be like, I need to breathe. Can we get an intermission? All right, here we go. I'm going to go to some of the audience reviews here. Ramona S. says, had only a few cool killings. Otherwise, it was boring. Just the killer walking through most of the movie. Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Even though the kills are the best part.
Yep.
They're super creative.
And here we go. Here's another one. Good. This is a cliche Friday the 13th ripoff filtered through Eli Roth torture porn. The gore is sadistic and the story is slow torture too. Get ready for lots of real-time walking that is still montaged somehow. They did jump cuts of the walking, and it was still like, holy shit, I feel like we're fucking walking for so long. Like, even they were like, this is a lot of walking. We should put a jump cut in. Holy shit, it was just so much fucking walking. Oh my God, I felt like I watched all 3 Lord of the Rings movies in this one fucking movie with all the walking they did.
There was one
Holy
part where he's walking and like they jump cut like 3 times and we're like, oh, is something gonna happen? Oh no, he's still walking.
Yeah. No, he's still walking. I love the one part where they fucking do usually they do like over the shoulder. It's like third person video game chase cam,
it's
like over behind them, so you see it. So that's a lot of the movie is the walking is
the
that.
Majority of it.
They had that one shot and it looked great. They had the one shot where it was just the camera set up with like a profile shot of him walking across. You see him in like a really wide shot going from left to right of the fucking frame, right? And he goes,
just so you know which way he's going, just in case you can't tell.
And then he kills somebody over here. There's a kill scene. And then we're walking again. And the next thing you see is the exact same frame. I swear to God, it's the exact same frame.
But he's
just walking straight back the other way now.
The other way now.
And they must have just spent like, oh my God, like 2 or 3 days just walking in the woods. Okay, cool. Keep it there. Now just reverse. Walk the other way, bro. That's great. Yeah. You're walking awesome. And just follow. All right, let's walk through here. Yeah. Just follow through here. All right, cool. Now turn around. Let's walk them the other way. Oh, the sun's facing that way. Cool. Walk them that way. Cool. Let's walk over there. Hey, let's walk over there. That looks cool. Let's walk over there. Like that was their whole fucking thing for like 3 days. I bet you.
I guarantee.
Oh my God.
That actor got a great workout for that movie.
There was no. They didn't need. That's why they shot it a day too, dude. They must have made this so fucking cheap. They must have made this so fucking cheap.
That's probably why it looks so good.
I mean, they got a good camera. They probably spent money on a really good camera and good lenses and a good cinematographer. Their DP is probably really good. That's probably they went and got some like art school DP, right? Director of photography to come and shoot this motherfucker. And they were just like, yeah, it's going to look great. And we're going to skimp out on literally everything else but the special effects. Everything else is just bullshit. And we're going to make this thing for like nothing. Because literally you're just walking around the woods. The dude didn't even have to have his face done up like fully for most of the thing because they're shooting the back of him. The back of his head was half the damn movie.
You don't see his face much either.
Nope. You only see the face for one thing.
And
he has the fucking mask on through a lot. Yep.
I mean, he looked great. Once again, special effects, fantastic. He looked wonderful, but...
Yeah. So another big gripe of mine with this was like some of the kills, while they looked great, it was like the actor who was getting ready to get killed would just stand there and wait.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
she's just standing there waiting for it to be killed. Like they would just be there. Oh, it's a dude with a big ass hook.
Let me just stand
I'm just going to stand here. And then it was like, I was like, what the fuck is she doing? Jump, bitch. What are you doing? Do you not see the big ass hook in that big dude's hand? I mean, you got a better shot jumping right now than just standing there.
Absolutely.
No, I'm going to stand here and get one of the best kills in the movie done to me, granted, but it was just like so unrealistic for them to just stand there and he's just like oh, it was so bad.
She wasn't the only character that did that either.
No.
I feel like all of them did that to an extent. They didn't run away. They hesitated to fight back.
There was another one where I swear to God there was another kill, and I don't want to give away the kill, but you might want to put your fingers in your ears and go, nah, 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 if you don't want to hear this one real quick. Because there was one where I was like, the one guy had something happen. The one guy who was about to kill didn't have use of his legs, remember?
At the end, yeah.
And he goes and he picks up the big John and he's going to smash him.
Yeah.
And the dude sits there and he's like, no, don't kill me. No, he's crawling away. But when the dude is finally about to smash, when Hulk's about to smash, and he sees it's coming for his face, your first instinct when somebody's going to hit you is to go like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now I get they wanted this kill to look cool, but the second that it happened, I was like, "There's no fucking way." There's no fucking way. The dude had complete use of his arms. He was dragging himself away. And again, a little bit of spoilery talk here. Blah, 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 blah. Stay in your ears if you don't want to get spoiled. Drags total use of his arms. And the dude's going to smash him in the head. And he goes, no, don't kill me. And just lets his head get smashed. I'm just like, my instinct would be, turn your head, blind your face. But nothing. No, none of that. Granted, awesome kill, looked great. His
arms were just out, weren't they?
Yes, his arms were just out like this at his side, pleading, no, don't do it. and yeah,
That
did you
didn't
not?
work, right?
No, that didn't work. And that when that I was just like, man, this is so. And I think that happened after that was after the girl kill, where she just stood there and took it.
That was one of the first ones. The one girl, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna have to jump. All right, I don't want to get. We're gonna have to get into some spoilers here. Let's see. Ride shares. Dan talking about ride share kills. Kevin Shave checking in. What's up, Kev?
Hi,
Connor
Kevin.
Holden checking in. What's up, Connor? Tom Shalaba checking in. Tom, we got to schedule a rehearsal this week.
Hi, Tom.
Anthony said, you guys used the word generic so many times, I'm guessing the movie was a meh fest. Yes, it was very much a meh fest.
Unfortunately.
With the exception of the kills, like we said. So, all right, before we get into some of that, we'll do our Amityville Barbie update. Let me jump back over here. We'll stop sharing our screen over here. We got some people checking in.
Should I go grab the compact?
Joe Nero checking in. He says, I ask this with all the respect in the world, is the Barbie movie a porno? No, Joe, it is not.
No, sir, it is
God,
not.
I don't.
I don't think that's the first
we get this question way more than we should.
I
don't
I think someone else
understand.
asked that too.
Like I get like porn parodies are a thing, so I guess that's why people kind of see this and go, oh, it must be a porn
Right.
parody. But like, I don't know what in our advertising has made people think it's a porn parody, other than like I know like people said the poster, the AI poster that Mark Cheng created with the girl scantily clad and like a bikini. But I'm like, man, has been a million scantily clad women on horror movie posters since the 50s, and nobody has asked if that was like I just pulled up like Dr. No with James Bond. He's got like 4 scantily clad women lined up like next to him in like bikinis with like butts in the camera or boobs showing and all like this and stuff. And I'm like, nobody ever asked if that was a porno. Why everybody? But I get it. I get it, man.
All the actresses are really pretty.
Well, yes, that could be part of it. Sure. But I get it. Now, like porn parodies are a thing these days, and I guess that's why people ask. I get
guess
it.
No one's really done a Barbie one, huh?
But it is not. It is not
No,
a
it is
porn
not.
at all. There's no nudity in it even. There's not even. I'm sorry to disappoint people if that's what they were hoping for. And I'm a fan of 80s and 90s R-rated movies and all that kind of booby stuff, just like the next guy. Trust me. But this is our first feature. We don't want to go that route. We are already going to mine the IPs of Barbie, Amityville, Evil Dead 2, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We're Jackie Chan. We're taking all that and just shamelessly slapping it together to make this thing. But it's going to be big stunts, big fight scenes, a lot of big action. The girls kicking ass. It's more of the girls kicking ass than anything else we're going to get here. And like one of the big themes of the movie is like women's solidarity. That's part of the whole thing. It's got a message and everything. It's not just some crappy drivel. Like there's like a whole theme behind it, and like a whole.
There's character development. Like
every character
there's
has a story arc.
Movie, but
yes.
Sorry, there's no nudity. There's a lot going on. But
but it is not a porn. No, it is an action horror parody. That is what it is. It's going to be heavy on the comedy and satire. We're going to spoof some celebrities. We're going to have fun with gore and stunts, and it's just going to star a bunch of hot, kick-ass ladies, and some hot, kick-ass dudes too. So yeah, that's the concept. That's where again, and I get it. I get that porn parodies are a big thing these days, but that is definitely not what we're going for. This is
definitely not. We have other things in mind.
Yes, this is rated R for completely different reasons. Over the top gore, just like you're going to see in, just like you saw in, Terrifier 2, Evil Dead 2, the movie we just got done talking about, In a Violent Nature, that we're going to talk about some spoilers for shortly. We're going to have blood and guts and gore and cursing. And fights and violence. It's going to be awesome. Cursing. Our people say, fuck! I don't think you can say that in PG-13 movies, right? I don't think you can. But, all right, check it out. Let's see. So we're gonna go. Kevin Shave says hi to Maddy.
Hi, Kevin.
Shonda Rawlings checking in. Hi, Shonda. Says, hey, y'all. It's a parody. Dan says it's a parody of the 1980s Cinderella with horror. Joe Neer says, I don't know, man. It'd be cool to see something involving Freddy Krueger's mom. I'm not going to repeat. Hey,
you guys
respect.
can scroll up and look at that one yourself.
Anthony says, no nudity. If you want to add nudity, I'm willing to hang dong, Kevin Shave says.
Thanks, Kevin.
To save the film, Dan Dye will do nudity. Shonda says, I love this concept so much. So excited for it. Thank you, Shonda. We are very excited for it, too.
Thank you so much.
We're watching Buffy, the old Buffy the Vampire Slayer episodes now for inspiration.
Yeah, we just finished the first season, which was amazing, by the way. I haven't seen it until now, so this is my first time running through it, and gosh, I love it.
Man, I had to expose her, I had to teach the youngin', I had to show her what was up. Deja also says, super excited. Anthony says, oh man, girl power is what's killing Marvel. No, that's not what's killing Marvel, Ant. That's not what's killing Marvel. Well, it is, and to an extent. But the problem is that, and here's where we're different, and I'm glad that you brought this up, because I want everybody to hear this as well. Here's the difference between what Marvel does and why Marvel is having blowback with what they do and what we're doing with Amityville Barbie. When you go and watch a Marvel movie right now, yes, Marvel is pandering to women and they're pushing the female agenda, but they're doing it at the expense of men. They're making, when they do it, they are, if you go and watch movies, that's why She-Hulk flopped. That's why Miss Marvel's, kind of a flop. That's why a lot of these movies are flopping, because Marvel is going, the writers are shitting on them, and they're shitting on the male characters. They're attempting to build up their female characters by just shitting on the male characters. And the perfect example is in She-Hulk, when Bruce Banner, who has been the Hulk for all these years as an Avenger, and he's lived with this torment and this demon inside him for years, so much so that he has put a bullet in his mouth and a gun in his mouth and tried to blow his brains out, and couldn't, because the Hulk took over and he spit the bullet out because he can't kill himself. But that's the kind of torment and emotional baggage and that this guy carries around with him through all these movies of the Avengers, okay? So when they decided to make She-Hulk, I wouldn't even watch it, because the first episode came out, and it came out that he was going to tutor her on how to be the Hulk and how to control her powers, because they were new. She gets the Hulk blood through him, through a blood transfusion. They're related. They have the same blood. He's got it, all that. She gets some of their blood because they're related. And then they proceeded to make her just learn everything instantly, have zero fucking learning curve, and tell him, make him look totally belittle him and make him feel like a complete jackass, and tell him that she doesn't need to learn to control her anger. She does it every time a man cat calls her on the street. And I was just like, man, way to I get it. Cat calling sucks, don't get me wrong, but this dude put a fucking to cope with being the Hulk, put a fucking gun in his mouth and tried to blow his brains out. And you just totally belittled that in 5 sentences of shitting on a man because the woman can always do it better. And that's not how we're going to do it. But that's how Marvel is fucking it up right now. You don't have to shit on somebody else to succeed, to make progress.
I agree.
That goes for any fucking gender, any fucking race, any religion. You don't have to put somebody else down to build yourself up. You can build yourself up just by building yourself the fuck up. But the problem is that takes too much thought and writing for these Marvel writers, so they don't want to do that. The easy way is to just shit on men, because down with the patriarchy. That's what's cool nowadays. That's what's popular. That's what's hip with the kids. That's what's lit. Whatever the fuck they want to say, right? So that's what Marvel is doing. We're not doing that. Amityville Barbie is not doing that. We're doing the complete opposite. The villain in Amityville Barbie is a woman, because. And Maddie's sitting here. I'm not going to say this, and I'm not going to say something that everybody's going to freak out and try and cancel me over, because this is Steph Infection's my co-writer, and this is something that she and I both came up with together, that we both discussed and said that this was going to be part of the theme of the movie. Number one, we weren't going to shit on men, to build up our Barbie. But number two, and maybe some of you women will agree, sometimes other women are your own worst enemies. You guys don't know how to get along. You don't know how to work together. You don't know how to do, like, teamwork just doesn't always work with you guys. There's a lot of jealousy and fighting, and women are always trying to one-up each other. And again, I'm not saying that guys don't do that kind of stuff too, but that's a big thing with women. And so that is the theme of what Amityville Barbie is going to fight. There's so many characters in here that kind of do their own thing and have to learn to work as a team. There's, our villain is a very vain demoness witch woman.
I think you called her a witch. You were right. You're saying
she's like she's very hot. But she's also very evil, self-centered. And even Barbie herself. She doesn't want to, like, this. Her whole thing is she keeps her two lives separate, and everything's a secret, and she doesn't let anybody else in, and she wants to do everything with her, herself. She doesn't even work with the other Slayers. So there's like a whole lack of teamwork here between the women. So we're going to have guys in the movie. Some guys will be goofy. Some guys will be awesome. Some guys will do their thing. Some guys will have story arcs. Some guys will be shitty. We're going to have all different types. But the conflict is not going to be building up women by shitting on men. That's what Marvel does, and that's not what we're going to do. We are going to build up women by, the lesson is to work together, I guess, and when we're saying.
Yeah, no, it's like bringing women together. That's what it seems like it's going in that direction, is to, instead of fighting with each other, work together, because then everybody's going to succeed.
So that's our goal. And the only way they're going to succeed is if they work together to survive the night.
Exactly.
So
and they're going to realize, hey, they're not so bad, and they can get along.
Well, and if they don't put their egos aside, then they aren't going to make it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's how it's going to go. So, all right, let me check in next. Joe Nero asks, is Maddy and Steph in it? Yes, Maddy and Steph will be in the movie. Maddy will be, we haven't announced Maddy's role yet, but she will be one of a trio of girls who also get to be demons.
I'm so excited to be a demon.
So Maddy will probably be doing some wire work and flying around as a demon once we get into production and get into shooting and designing some of the set pieces. So we'll see. She'll probably get killed.
I would assume as much.
We'll see. Steph will also have a part in the movie. Steph's schedule doesn't allow to have a main role. She has other life obligations that she has, so she cannot shoot anything full time. But she will have a part in the movie. She will be in there. You will see Steph Infection in the movie in some form. So yes, Maddy and Steph will be in the movie. Shonda says, I'm a gore whore, so the more the better. And Shonda says, Buffy the Vampire Slayer is so fun. You're going to love it. Talking to you, obviously.
Oh, yeah. And
finished the first season, about to start the second.
I'm so excited to continue. The writing is just incredible.
I was a huge devotee from back in the day. All my friends made fun of me, but I was like, I don't care what you say. Buffy is the shit. I watched Angel. Fucking loved it. Loved it all. I loved it all. Anthony says, just be like Amber Heard. Don't shit on men. Shit on their beds. Dan says, hashtag teamwork. Shonda says, I dig it. Dan says, sounds like a porn. Teamwork. I'm sure we'll see a bedroom in one of the scenes. It's all going to take place all around the Amityville house, but yes, no nudity. Sorry to disappoint. So, all right. So that's going to wrap up our talk on them. Oh, the band. Sorry. Yes. We're going to announce a band. You guys are going to hear it first. I'll post it later, either today or maybe it'll go up tomorrow since it's getting kind of late now. But just added to the Amityville Barbie, the movie, the soundtrack, we have horror punk legends and horror punk anti-heroes, I guess, right?
I would say so, for sure.
The motherfucking Renfields have joined the soundtrack. So They go way back. They just released an album, what, a year ago?
I think it was about a year ago.
A little over a year ago. We had them here last year for Slasher Fest, I believe, or Hellaware. One of them.
I think it was Hellaware.
Was it Hellaware?
Yeah,
Yeah, because Slasher Fest was in Ohio last year. We had them here last year for Hellaware Horror Punk Fest. Icons of the horror punk genre, and back now with their Cthulhu cult shtick. If you haven't seen anything from the Renfields recently, they've got new Cthulhu face masks that were made by Maddy Morningstar and the Hand of Glory.
Yeah, the Hand of Glory. I made that as well.
Prop that they use on stage, also made by Maddy Morningstar. So check out. If you've never heard the Renfields, you're really missing out. It's a really fun horror pop punk.
Yeah, it's like
earlier stuff was a little poppier.
It's almost like pogo punk kind of shit.
Yeah, it was definitely like pogo punk with horror.
And it's super fun. It's super like dancey, makes you want to jump around. It's really, really exciting stuff.
Newer stuff, a little heavier,
for sure. They're definitely going
different direction.
It's still like horror punk, but it's also like a little bit more in like the metal genre, especially with the newer stuff that they're coming out with, and unreleased songs as well. It's like they only play live.
So yes, shout out to the Renfields. Thank them for jumping in here and backing the project and giving us a song that we can use in the soundtrack. So another iconic horror punk band joins the soundtrack, along with, God, who else? We have Dead End Lane. We have Graveyard Boulevard. We got The Galaxy Has Eyes.
That's right. They're going to make a new song for the movie, aren't they?
Graveyard Boulevard and Galaxy Has Eyes and Dickie Devil and the Deviants. All three bands are writing brand new songs just for the soundtrack of Amityville Barbie.
And that is super exciting. We appreciate everybody who's been donating songs and making new songs, all that stuff.
Yep. The last thing we'll say about that is if you want to help, you want to contribute, you want some cool perks, head to the Indiegogo, search Amityville Barbie the movie. You'll see all the cool stuff that we have there. There's stuff from a $10 contribution, get your name in the credits and on IMDb, all the way up to like $999 producer credit, which a whole list of extra stuff you get. But in between, there's cool stuff like what we got right now. There's like your band or brand's t-shirt in the movie. We'll throw it on a stunt person or an actor and they'll get killed in it, and you'll get a whole bunch of cool perks with that, cool bunch of like downloads and videos personalized to your band featuring the stuntman or actress wearing the shirt on set, and that's like $50. That's a bargain. You get the advertising of your logo in there. And what else do we have that's new? Oh, the Adopt an Actor perks are pretty popular too. You get some personalized stuff from any of our actors. There's only one available for most actors. There's two available. Well, there was two, but they sold out for Ashley. Ashley's sold out quick, man. We didn't even get to put the second one up. And Ashley already had a second sponsor. And Jessa Flux will have a second one up soon for her Jessa Goblin character that you can get personalized videos and a whole bunch of other stuff that she's offered to send to whoever her sponsor is. We'll send a whole bunch of stuff, and the actors are offering signed stuff and all kinds of cool videos, behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So some really cool stuff on there. Go ahead over and check it out, whatever you can help out with. And we understand times are tough, even if you can't help with a contribution, give it a share, tell your friends. If you're in horror groups or anything like that, share it there.
Well, we should show them the compact.
Yes, you go get the compact, and I'm going to get ready to, while she does that, that's going to be the last thing we'll do. We'll show you is the Necronoma compact. And then we're going to jump to our spoilery review real quick, get some of the spoilers out of the way that we wanted to talk about with In a Violent Nature. And then we're going to get out of here and get back to work because we still got more stuff to do. Got graphics to make for that Renfields announcement, which we will do either after this or tomorrow. So you guys heard it here first. Breaking news. And here she comes back with our Necronoma compact.
So you guys probably can't even see this. I'll come up close so you guys can take a look.
No, you can't do that, remember? Because you can, as far as you can go is here, because otherwise this is a cinematic lens, you will be out of focus.
I see. All right, well. So this isn't finished yet, but this is how it's looking so far, our first one. The sculpture's done. You can't really see it. It's all one color right now.
If you bring it up here, ooh, shoot, Beetlejuice down. Bring it right up here over Beetlejuice's head. Hold it right in there. We'll be able to see. Yeah, right there. See, they could see it.
Yeah, you
Yep.
could see,
You
you
can
could
see
kind
the
of see the
shadows.
face in there.
Yep.
He's ready for paint. And we're gonna be like there. We have some grooves in here that like we're gonna put stitches in and everything. And the great thing about this is that it's still like totally workable, compact, still totally usable, still works and functions. But now it's got a Necronomicon face on it. But yeah, so that's one of our perks as well. You guys are able to get one of these with that perk, and
Only one
there's
available.
only one that we're only making one.
Yep. So that is it. Rock Lopez says, awesome. Anthony says, you guys should do full cast signature posters. We have them, man. There is full cast. It's $50, I believe. You get the full signed poster, fully signed by the cast. And then you also get like the special thanks and the credits and the digital downloads and the soundtrack download. And a couple other things, I think, too. But yeah, we have signed scripts, we have signed posters, we have you get a piece of signed wardrobe if you sponsor your actor. That means like if you sponsor Barbie, she'll be wearing a shirt. She's gonna send you a video saying, "Hi, your name here. It's me, Jessa Flux's Barbie, and I'm about to go on set and kill a demon in your shirt. Here, I'm going to pass the phone over to my assistant. Here you go, boop. And then they're going to hold it and film the scene. And you're going to get to see your shirt in action. Once it's done, she'll take it off, sign the shirt, box it up, and it'll be ready to go once the rest of your perks all come in. We will box them all up and send it out to you. You will own that shirt worn. You will have video proof of the shirt being worn and signed and everything. You guys will get hooked up. So,
yeah, and it's definitely worth the price too. Like considering everything you get with that perk.
Yeah,
It's
there's all kinds of stuff
absolutely
in
worth
there
it.
included.
Worth it. You get so much.
So check that one out. But yes, the Necronomicon Compact. I think you get an associate producer perk credit with the Necronomicon Compact too.
Oh, do you?
If you buy that, or if you buy the screen used Barbie brush that is also available, I believe you get an associate producer credit. I believe. I got to double check. If not, I will make it so. Since I said it here live,
Now you got to do it.
I will do it. So there you go. Anthony says, excuse me, I'll take one of those. Oh, awesome, Anthony. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thank you so
brother.
much.
And you'll see too with all the perks, there's also add-ons that you can get. So if you get the signed poster and you want to add on a CD, soundtrack CD, I think it's like $15. If you want to add on a Blu-ray, it's like $30. There's a couple things that you can add on as well. So if you're getting something and you want to get something else, especially since you're having it shipped, so it'll get you something else thrown in there, and we'll probably throw in some Amityville Barbie stickers and some other swag for you as well. So yes, appreciate it. Rock Lopez checks in, says awesome, checking out the Necronomicon Compact. Shonda headed out, says have a great night, so excited for it. Thanks for checking in, Shonda.
Thanks, Shonda.
Anthony Noble says Renfields are fucking great.
Yeah, they're wonderful. I've known them for such a long time. I've known those guys for like at least 10 years now.
Nice. Anthony says I'll DM you. Ronin, DM Steph, because I have so much going on. She will take care of that, or you can go through the Indiegogo page. Or just shoot her a message. She'll get you through the Indiegogo page or whatever we need to do. Let her know. Louis Moss checking in, says, what's up? What's up, Louis? Thanks for checking in, dude. We're about to jump into some spoilery stuff here for In a Violent Nature. So get ready. I should put up a spoiler warning here.
Oh, you can do that?
Yeah, watch this. Ready? I just got to, hold on, I'm going to edit it. In a Violent Nature, spoiler talk. Boom, and show. Pow. There we go.
Very
Look
cool.
at that. Look at our
that's
little,
awesome.
look down there at our little, what do you call our banner or whatever it is? Our scroll, our ticker. We got a ticker. So, we're about to get to this In a Violent Nature spoiler talk. Anthony says, I get lost in the Indiegogo shit and hotel tunnels. Yeah, Anth, what we'll do is if you message either me or Steph, and we'll figure out what you need, and then you can send it to us through one of the PayPal, Venmo, one of them type things, and then we'll put it into the Indiegogo so it actually kicks into the kitty there on Indiegogo, so we get closer to our goal. That's what we're trying to do. All right. Let's see. Oh, back to our In a Violent Nature. So yeah, if you guys have seen this one, comment now. If you haven't seen it, we're going to do some spoiler talk. I mean, there's not a whole, I mean, like, I don't know what the hell we're going to spoil. There's no fucking twists. This thing is such a generic fucking slasher that bores you to tears in between the awesome kills. There's not really a whole lot to spoil other than to tell you how people get killed. So,
and we could go into detail about how the story doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, we could definitely talk about some of that stuff. And
the ending, I can't wait to talk about.
The ending was really good. Yeah, we don't even have to get into all that, the kills and all that. But let's go with some goofs here, because here's some goofs which I find funny. Nearly every scene involves a rental cabin or forest ranger lodge / museum, and implies some kind of major roadway with extremely accessible driveways right up to the cabins. But a lot of the film seems to look very remote, such as POV tracking of either the villain hiking endlessly through woods or fields, or a young person being pursued and getting lost in the woods. More than likely, all these places would be much more closely situated to each other, and even in darkness, the clear driveways and road would be easy to find for use as a guide. Yeah, interesting.
I feel like that's a little nitpicky.
A little nitpicky, but I just felt like the I don't know. It was all very convenient.
I mean, the whole movie was convenient.
Quite convenient. Here they have their website here.
Oh, that's right. They have their own website, which I didn't take a look at yet, but I saw it was there.
Yeah, let me go to our share screen here so you guys can see the website as we talk about some of it.
It's a nice website. Very professional looking.
Yeah, like that scene right there where she's like backing up, dude. That was one of the ones that killed me.
She could have ran away.
I was like, man, you could have ran away at any point.
Forest.
And then of course they have her doing yoga on a cliff. It wasn't even like a real cliff. Like even after she's dead and he pushes her off, she doesn't even fall all the way down. She's like tumbling down the thing. Like, how could you not? It was an embankment. It wasn't even a fucking cliff.
Slid down and gotten away.
I'm looking. I'm just like, this is why you're just fucking standing there.
She's standing there screaming when she
didn't even scream that loud either. She was just like, no,
And like if you look, like she was really close to the edge of the cliff. She could obviously see that it was a slope. It wasn't a cliff.
Yep. Yeah.
But her kill was the best.
Oh, her kill was the best.
Going into spoilers, her kill was the best.
I mean, yeah, he fucking does it up, but it was just like so unbelievable that we got there. You know what I mean? Like it was just I was like, man, what? Nobody would have fucking just stood there and taken that.
And they all just stood there.
And they all just stood there and took it. Oh, man. All right, let's go to the Wikipedia here. In a Violent Nature is a 2024 Canadian slasher film written and directed by Chris Nash, described as an ambient slasher. They're going to call it all these fun, fancy, artsy ambient slasher. Film follows a mute killer who targets a group of teenagers in the Ontario wilderness, with the events observed largely from the killer's perspective. In a Violent Nature premiered, blah, blah, blah. Plot: a group of friends discover a locket hanging in the remains of a fire tower. Troy pockets it. Moments later, corpse of Johnny rises from the ground. In rage, he begins in search. The item walks through the woods. And he walks through the woods, and he walks through the woods, and he walks through the woods, and he walks through the woods. The end. He kills some people along the way.
I know, and it's just like that. See, that's another thing that bothers me a little bit is like there's no build up to any of the kills. Like I feel like it's like he walks to human, kills human, walks away, kills next one.
Yeah, and that's the way. And I get it.
And it's realistic, like we've said.
They want to do it from his perspective, so they're keeping it all like well, he wouldn't he would go right up to him, and there wouldn't be any music. He would just grab him and rip him apart. Okay, I get it.
Yes, but
I get it, but that's boring. It's boring.
Like, even with Jason, like I feel like this movie would have been a lot more interesting if they didn't choose to copy Jason. I feel like if they either made their own character that had more supernatural abilities and like thoughts and plans and wants and desires, and it's like I feel like that perspective of a villain like that would be more interesting than just Jason walking through the woods and killing people. So I feel like if there was more.
Yeah, like if you had a Freddy character or somebody that had an inner monologue or somebody that did one-liners or something that you were following that slasher.
I would love to see the perspective of Freddy Krueger. That would be super fun.
Right.
And then you get to like learn more about him and his supernatural like existence. But with Jason, but that's the thing with Jason. He is very supernatural in many ways, but he's also very simple.
He's simple. He's one track minded kill.
Yeah.
And that's was like, it just, I don't know. I just feel like it just made their job so easy on this movie. It was almost a cop out to do this. Again, like calling this guy a writer is just such a loose use of the term. It's
Is
like
this
the
the first thing
loosest.
he's written?
No, I guess he's written other stuff, but yeah, just the writer being, him being a writer when there's no writing in the damn movie.
No.
And then
no. There's not a lot of writing.
let's see. I'm gonna check in real quick here. Rock Lopez says, any chance there'll be any props like weapons put on there? Looking forward to watching the movie. Yes, Rock. Like we said, we had the Necronoma Compact on there. The brush is a weapon. She uses our Barbie uses the Amity, the Barbie. We have a life-size Barbie brush that will be used as a weapon in the movie. We will also have some other props and weapons that we're using in the movie as well. We don't want to give too much away yet. But yeah, we will probably also, because we're going to need finishing funds after this Kickstarter, or not Kickstarter, this crowdfunder is done. We'll probably run something else later at a later date, where once we've conceptualized more of these weapons and stuff, when we know what they are, we'll be able to offer them in a separate crowdfunding opportunity, I guess.
For sure.
For finishing funds, most likely, because we'll need money in post-production. The money we're raising now is pretty much to get everything shot, to get all our actors paid and housed and fed and our crew fed, and to get everything shot and in the can. And then after we get all that in the can, we'll probably have to do a finishing funds campaign. I'm going to do a lot of the editing myself, but I don't do special effects. I don't do sound and score. I don't do color. I just do the basic cut, and then I pass it off. And we're going to need to have other people do some work there as well. So we will probably be either auctioning off or offering in a campaign again to you can just grab the perk, like the one of the props that we'll make available. So we'll have some cool stuff made. So stay tuned. But yeah, the brush will be a weapon. She will fight with the Barbie brush a bit. That's why we had one made. We had to have it. It'll be big, and I mean it is big. It's
very
like there's pictures of it on the
it's weapon size
on the website. Yes. So we had our prop maker Keith Murphy made 3 of them, and just so
and they turned out wonderful. He did a great job.
Yeah, just in case we break them.
And he like filed everything down and everything. Like they're just super nicely done.
Yeah. So, all right. So back to In a Violent Nature. So yeah, the part with the rock smash on the head that I was talking about, the dude's arms are out like this. He would totally cover his face. I'm just like, what the fuck?
I don't know. He could have done something. He tried to all right, he's like on top of him, right? He could have tried to like kick him or anything.
Yeah, he got stabbed or shot in the leg or something, right? Wasn't that what happened? He stabbed in the leg.
Was that him? That's right.
He was stabbed in the leg, so he couldn't. He was crawling away.
But he had his other leg was all right. He could have done some kicking with that one.
Right, exactly. Like how come? And I thought
he didn't even try.
Yeah, exactly.
He just screamed.
Yeah, and they wanted to smash a head with a rock and make it look cool. So instead of doing what any real normal person would do and turn your head and cover your eyes and go like this to guard your face, he just sat there like this looking at it and got his face smashed in with a giant fucking rock. It was the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. It was a great kill. The head smashed, the blood went everywhere. It looked fucking awesome. It looked great. Yeah, but there's no way on earth anybody would sit there and just be like, smash me in the face with a rock while I look at you. It was just, and it was like a top-down shot too, so you could clearly see his arms are out like this.
They're just out. And
there's just no way anybody, like, I don't care who you are, unless you were fucking paralyzed, you wouldn't respond like that. And he was clearly not paralyzed. Mm-hmm. No. So it made zero sense other than they wanted to smash his head with a rock. So they made him act unlike any human ever would act, which just totally takes out the whole fucking realism thing, dude. Like, again, there's your whole realism thing. Like, we want realism, so we're not going to have a soundtrack or sound effects. No, but we'll have cliche dialogue from stupid campers making the same stupid, unbelievable decisions that happen in slasher movies and standing around waiting to be killed and doing stuff that would only movie characters would do, but you want to make a real movie. Like, you can't have it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't have it both ways. Like, if you're going to make them make dumb slashery movie decisions, then make the rest of the movie slashery. Put some fucking fog in the background. Put some fucking sound effects in. Put some ominous theme music in for our fucking killer while he's trudging through the woods for 50 minutes of this fucking movie. Like, give us something else, because you're giving us crap when you actually do give us something aside from the kills. Like, literally, that's the only good thing in here.
I agree.
The only good thing in here is the special effects and the kills.
Right, and
even the design of the kills isn't great because everybody just stands there waiting to get it. It's just the actual special effects of the kills.
The actual
are
physical
awesome.
special effects are great. And what you were talking about with The Rock, it's like you could still smash someone's head with a rock and have them fight back at least a little bit.
Yep. There was no fighting back whatsoever. Nobody fought back.
When someone's like, when your life is in danger, you go into like a fight or flight mode, and usually you'd fight back.
Yep, or at least protect your face, man.
Or do anything.
Your face is the first thing. The first thing you do is cover your face.
All he did was scream.
Yep.
So obviously he didn't want to die, but I mean his body language made it seem like he wanted to die.
All right, now let's talk about this part, because this part fucking killed me. I mean, if you didn't see this one coming, you had to be a goddamn idiot that's never seen a fucking slasher movie before or any kind of killer movie before, because they have done this a million times in movies. And when it happened, again, if you want realism, fine, but you can't have it both ways. So the scene where the ranger and the two people are panicking and they're outside of the fucking the museum, the Rangers museum and all that. They're out there talking under the light, and we hear some dialogue, and he's just walking up to them as a killer, and they're like, and he's telling them, "Oh, you fucked us over now, and you took the locket," and da-da-da. That part was great, and I was like, "Yes, here we go. We're gonna get some shit." And he's walking up and he's like, "Oh, fuck." And that was great the way he just walked up at him. And like, they're talking about how he's like, "No, you got this fucking, he won't die." And then it was like, he just literally comes walking up. And I was like, "Fuck." And he's like, so he starts shooting him and he goes down. And I was like, "Oh, fuck, he's down." And then go get the chains. And the dude goes to get the chains, right? And he comes back with the chains and then he gets all the way close to him. I'm like, he's got the gun right next to the body. And I'm just sitting there going, now we all know he isn't dead. Why are you that fucking close to him?
And the ranger knows he's not dead.
And the ranger knows he's not dead.
With him
the ranger's the one that put him in the ground before. The ranger's the one that buried him with the locket.
Next to his hand, his arms. Like,
the gun's right next to his hand. I was just like, this is so stupid. What the fuck are you doing? And then to make it worse, the guy comes back with the chains. He's like, and the rest is like, "All right, tie up his feet." And he's like, "I can't do it." They don't see any of this because all you're doing is the point of view is strictly on the killer on the ground. So we all know he's coming back. And this is a fucking slasher movie. It's not real. So we all know he's coming back, right? But yet we're supposed to believe that him trudging through the woods with no theme music is for realism's sake, because they wanted to make this movie realistic. This is so unrealistic, this fucking part. So, "Oh, okay, get over here, and I'm going to pass you the gun. Are you ready to take the gun? Do you know how to use a gun? I'm going to pass you the gun. Here comes the gun. Get ready for the gun." Why don't you talk about it a little more so that in case the killer's not awake and aware already that the gun's about to be passed, that now he absolutely knows it is, because all you did was talk about passing the fucking gun for 2 minutes now. So as soon as they pass the fucking gun, the killer grabs the fucking gun, and that's it. Everybody's just fucking dead at this point. That's how the fucking ranger goes. And I felt bad for the ranger. That motherfucker should have not been anywhere near there. He should have been like, "You know what? You fuckers did this. I'm out."
I know, he should have.
And just fucking left. And just left.
And he had a whole dramatic moment where, like, you know, he's giving backstory how he put him in the ground and all this stuff. And he like killed his dad and his family and all this stuff. And it's like, you've dealt with this guy before, and you're like right next to him.
So fucking dumb. So fucking dumb.
And he knew that he wasn't dead either.
Right. He knows he can't be killed. And you knew that he wasn't going to stay down for very long. And you're going to sit there and take your time. You're going to pass the gun. You know what? If that were me with the gun and that kid came back and was like, "I can't do it," I would have been like, "Motherfucker, I will shoot you myself. Put the chains on his fucking legs. You woke him the fuck up.
I know, it was his
Wrap him the fuck up or I will shoot you." That's what I would have done to that fucking pissant.
All he did
God
was
damn.
yell at him, and it didn't really make him do anything either.
It was so stupid. It was just a stupid movie decision. A stupid movie decision. So don't tell me you're trying to have realism in your movie, but then do these stupid movie decisions and stupid cliches that would only happen inside a horror movie. It's, you can't have the best of it. If you want to keep it realistic, then make all that shit realistic too. Not just the gore. Sure, the gore looked realistic. Great. And the walking looked realistic.
That was
awesome.
very realistic. That was some real life walking there.
But everything else, whenever anybody was talking or anything else happened, it was so unrealistic.
Yeah, it was.
Approaching the kills, getting to the kills, it was so unrealistic.
And the dialogue and the characters just weren't believable.
So fucking unrealistic.
I feel like some of the teenagers, I felt like they were so realistic, they were actually kind of boring. Like it was like maybe a little bit too realistic, but it's just not very believable.
Yeah. So, all right. So then all that happened. Then he kills the fucking dude, and the one girl leaves the locket and runs away. And we're like, okay, then we get to the end. And we're like, okay, what the fuck is going to happen now? She leaves the locket, runs away. Everybody else is fucking dead. Good kill on the fucking, I mean, it was kind of Eli Roth-ish.
Can we talk about the Rangers kill?
The Rangers kill, yeah. It was very Eli Roth-ish. It was well done.
It was too drawn out.
Oh, it was way
so
too
fucking long.
Well, yeah, and that's what they were trying to do.
But
they were like, oh yeah, we're just going to linger on this because that's artsy. That's artsy. That's the art house to have these long lingering shots instead of having cuts to tell your story. They do it all in one long lingering shot, so they make it all drawn out.
And I felt like they drew his out, especially because he's the guy that put him in the ground. It's almost like a revenge kind of scene, but there was nothing impactful about it. It was really just him. He was like a wood splitter, right?
Yeah, and that whole thing was unrealistic to me as well. Like the fact that
can you really get paralyzed the way he paralyzed him?
Yeah, he like crushed his spine.
But like, would you really just not
enough, you
move at all?
Yeah.
I mean, he just laid there for
like
the
frozen.
rest of the movie until he died.
Yeah, it'll happen if he crushes your vertebrae, like in certain.
He just kind of like took it.
My problem with it is this fucking Johnny is an idiot. He's like a mongoloid. He's mentally deficient, neurodivergent, whatever you want to call it. He has a whole scene where he's holding a fucking sitting there playing with a fire truck. He gets distracted by a fire truck keychain. Instead of killing, he forgets about killing for 2 minutes.
That's the one scene where you get to see his face too.
Yeah, so he's obviously an idiot. So you're going to tell me this is realistic, and this dude who is just a killing machine, who just comes upon campers and just violently kills them on the spot, is going to he's smart enough to realize that this is the guy that put him in the ground, and he's going to give him a gruesome, like, revenge death. He's so much so he knows to crush his spine to incapacitate him, and then he's going to go in and turn on the fucking wood splitter and find the wood splitter. He knows it's there, whatever. However the fuck Johnny knew the wood splitter was there.
I mean, he's been around before, so
I guess.
Maybe that's not the first time he's.
Fair enough.
He's used it.
So he goes in and he's going to get the wood splitter, and then he's going to drag the sheriff in, right, and lay him in front of the wood splitter, and has the wherewithal to be like, not only like, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to you with this log first. And he puts a log on and splits it first.
Yeah, just to show him so he knows.
Yeah, like this dude would not be that, he would not do all that. He would have killed him on the spot, man. If he's such a violent, his violent nature would have been, he wouldn't have done some elaborate revenge kill. That whole kill was too elaborate for a fucking neurodivergent mongoloid
to be like animalistic
killer. Yeah, that was way too thought out, way too like revenge planned.
It felt like he was stupid until he starts killing. Like he's smart with his kills, but like he's stupid otherwise.
Yeah, he's stupid. Oh, fire truck.
Like, Jason didn't have kills that elaborate.
No,
like, he had
Jason was a killing
machete.
machine. Right. He was a killing machine. He would, they were elaborate with like, oh, he'll put a spear through you, or something different, say whatever, whatever
I'm surprised
it was.
Jason could use a crossbow, but he can.
Oh yeah, point and shoot, baby. But yeah, this one, that whole scene, I was just like, this is so whack. This is so fucking stupid. Like the whole gun exchange, that whole thing, man. The fucking long drawn out kill. It was all I was just like, I call bullshit.
It's unrealistic.
I just call bullshit. All right, and now to the end.
All right, now we can get there.
So she puts the fucking locket on the thing on the can of gas because they were going to light them on fire and it didn't work. And she runs, finally finds a road, and some woman picks her up, and we just get this long conversation about how she'll be okay and how this woman's brother survived trauma and all this fuck, and we're just like, what the fuck? And then they had the whole thing with the stopping and wanting to get out and looking in the woods like she's paranoid. I'm like, this is like, and then it just ended. And it was like, and they cut back to the woods and the gas can's there and the locket's gone. Like he just took the locket and left.
That's exactly what he did.
So like, so we just did like this whole like 6 minutes of conversation in a car for fucking what? And it totally leaves. And then and not to mention, not only that, so that at that point, it leaves the perspective of the fucking killer who we have followed the entire movie. Even the beginning of the movie starts perfectly. And I will say they did a great job. This is exactly what I wanted. It starts perfectly. It is just like you open on just like the woods and the frame from the inside of an old burnout shed. And you hear some Chadish white dudes talking, and you should leave. I'm going to take it. You can leave it. Blah blah blah. And then, as they're about to leave, you see a hand come in. It pans back a little bit, and we slowly see the locket hanging. And a hand snakes the locket, and we see the guy walk away. And then it just stays there, and we hear them walking away. That was all really good. And then we start to see the hand come up through the dirt. And we're just like, oh fuck, that's great. That was so cool the way they set that all up. And that's where I was like, okay, cool. So this is how we're going to go. But I thought we would have more music, all that kind of stuff in there. But from that point on, like right from there, even from the beginning, all we do is have the killer's perspective. But for some reason, at the end of the movie, once the girl puts the locket, is it the locket's? No, it can't be the locket's perspective because the locket was in the dude's pocket and the killer was chasing the locket. So when the locket gets put on the fucking, the girl puts the locket on the gas can, the perspective now switches to following her in the woods as she runs through the woods for hours. And we have a whole bunch of her running through the darkness in the woods lost. And then it follows her to the road. And then it follows her to the car, and we're in the car. And that's why I'm just like, what the fuck are we following this? I mean, it should have just ended with her running away and the locket being left, and we see him come up and take the locket, black.
That's how it should have ended.
That's how the movie should have ended.
There was no reason to follow her at the end of the movie. She wasn't even a significant character. She was just the
she's
last
a nobody.
person.
She was one of the fucking idiots.
And it's like not like we would know much about the characters since we weren't following their perspective much at all. But it's like the whole conversation with her and this random lady telling the stories like you were talking about, like she's my brother survived and all this stuff. It's like, is this building up to something? I thought the killer was going to pop out and kill both of them when the car stopped, but
that's what I was
nowhere
hoping.
to be found.
I was hoping there was going to be something else, but there wasn't.
I thought they were going to pull a Jason, like at the end of the first Friday the 13th. He comes out of the water.
Yep.
You know,
I was waiting for something.
Maybe they would pay a bit of respect to that or something, but he just wasn't. He was nowhere, I guess, because, you know, he got the locket and now he's not relevant anymore. He goes away now that he got what he wanted.
Yeah. Well, the movie was an hour and 34 minutes, so maybe they needed that extra 10 minutes of bullshit at the end.
It was just, it was pointless. It was pointless.
To hit that time, possibly.
Maybe.
That could have been it.
It's just, it was not necessary, especially for a character that we usually like with the final person at the end of a horror movie. You follow them throughout the movie. You're familiar with them. You get attached to them. You know, you're rooting for them. Maybe not always, but sometimes if they're a good character, you actually give a shit about them suffering at the end of the movie. With this girl, we don't know anything about her. She's just some random girl that survived.
Yep.
I don't care about her at all.
No.
And I especially don't care about the lady in the car that she's with.
No, we don't care about her brother either. I don't give a shit about any of that.
It's not relevant to the movie at all. It's just extra.
Mm-hmm.
It's excess and
totally unnecessary.
Yeah, I was not thrilled with the ending.
Yeah, the ending sucked. All right, well that's gonna do it. Let's see. We got Steph Infection finally checked in.
Hi, Steph.
Hi, Steph. Can't see. Yeah, I know you couldn't see us. We had the other fucking thing up. I think I'm the only one here watching. I'll try not to listen to the spoilers. You didn't miss much. They didn't miss much spoilers.
Not a lot to spoil.
There's a bunch of gruesome kills. That's about it. And a really boring movie. That's it. So,
Unfortunately.
yep. All right. Yeah, we went long tonight. So,
Oh yeah. I mean, we talked about other things too.
yes, we did. We talked about
yeah.
Amityville Barbie, a bunch of Amityville Barbie stuff. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to wrap it up. Make sure you check out the Amityville Barbie Indiegogo. Make sure you follow us on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and
We've got
Kick and
everything.
Twitch and all those places. Deadsville 13 or Deadsville Ronin or Maddy Morningstar or Steph Infection, Amityville Barbie, Deadsville Productions, all those things. Check them all out. All right, that's going to do it, Boo Believers. We're going to get out of here. It's hot in the studio.
It's very hot in here.
All right, do you have a sign off yet?
No.
No,
I
just
don't.
say bye.
Bye. I don't have a sign off yet. Bye.
Stay spooky.